Quick question, y'all. I asked not too long ago, why do BDs say on King David? And King David himself was never a black disciple. In fact, nigga, King David died in 1974, which he was a black gangster disciple. BDs wasn't formed until 1976, 2 years after King Shorty himself had took a third of the BGD organization for himself and declared war on the other 2/3, which Larry Hoover controlled, due to the fact that Larry Hoover was messing with King Shorty woman. Now, it seems as though that history is repeating itself with the whole Duck situation and Teasy, a gangster messing with a BD lady. You know what I'm saying? It seems as though, again, like I said before, history is repeating itself. But for those that don't know the history behind the BD nation and organization that's still saying on King David and don't realize that King David was never a BD, slap yourself. Check this out.
Jerome King Shorty Freeman was born in November 1951. He allegedly became a gang member in the 1960s and was a close associate of the Black Gangster Disciple Nation founder, King David Barksdale. In 1965, Jerome Freeman and another member of the BGDs, Larry Hoover, were good friends. This made their respective sets, the Supreme Gangsters and the Black King Cobra's allies. Later in that year, some say Freeman found out Larry was fucking with his girl behind his back. Hoover ended up in a long-term relationship with the woman, but Freeman, upset with how it made him look, started a war with the gangsters over it. The GDs, BGs, and BDs all became separate gang entities through this splintering of the Black Gangster Disciples. When King David died in 1974, the organization was taken over by Jerome King Shorty Freeman as Crown King. When David Barksdale died, Freeman used that as a chance to take about a third of the BGDs for himself and declare war on Larry Hoover and the remaining 2/3 of the BGDs. This culminated in a bloody gang civil war from 1974 through 1976. In 1976, Freeman's BGDs became the Black Disciples that we know today. They called him King Shorty, reputed leader of the Black Disciple Street Gang. At just over 5 feet tall, the moniker fit well.
So in case y'all didn't know, Larry Hoover was a high supreme gangster, right? That's where you get the gangster. King David was a devil disciple. That's where you get the disciple. And King Shorty was a Black King Cobra. That's where you get the black gangster disciple. All three of them came together and formed that organization. But at first and originally, King Shorty and Larry Hoover never liked each other. The Black King Cobras and the High Supreme Gangsters was into it. But they both was friends with the devil's disciple, King David. Well, they was both friends with King David personally. So King David brought them together. That's why he's considered the king of all kings in that organization. In 1974, he passed away. And as y'all can see, 1976, and that's when the BDs, King Shorty formed the BDs. He dropped the gangster off of it. And Larry already told everyone out he was always going to be a gangster, man, because he was a high supreme gangster. He was the gangster in the BGD. King Shorty was the black, and your man's King David was the disciple. So Larry always kept the gangster in his name, and King Shorty always kept the black in his name. So that's why you got Black Disciple, Gangster Disciple. And they both kept disciple in the name in the honor of King David himself. So when gangsters talk down on King David, slap yourself. When BDs say own King David and never mention King Shorty, slap yourself, because King David was never a BD. In fact, nigga, King Shorty, the one that is what waged the war that is going on here today. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of people may have stopped paying that man homage due to the fact that he started pushing peace. And this is another reason why I feel as though that shit that King Yella and them talking is not going to go no further than the states that they live in. You feel me? Because if King Shorty and them If King Shorty got rebuked from his seat because he was pushing peace, what in the fuck makes you think a nigga like King Yella and King Yella and a few other motherfuckers gonna be able to start peace in Chicago? And them niggas don't even stay in Chicago. So with that being said, man, again, know your history and homage. Pay homage to those that really put the footwork out and started this shit that y'all call a war, man. Cause y'all is not giving any homage to your man's King Shorty. And King David was never a BD. I know that hit hard in wrong places for a lot of BDs that's been misled. But yeah, though, man, that's the truth. And I'm out.